Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to do what I would consider Zone 4 up on the bonsai deck. So yesterday we did Zone 3, and then about, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we did Zones 1 and 2. If you want to go back and look, cool. If not, well, today is Zone 4, and that's all about maples. So I've got Trident maples and a couple different varieties of Japanese maples in that little area. But before we get to that, I have been talking up my raised tree bed from recycled pallets. So I've had these pallets about 6 years, and I've used them a million different ways. Before this, they were to enclose Carl, our full-grown rooster now. Yep, flap those wings, boy. Him and Petra were babies, and we couldn't just let them in with the rest of the flock, so we sectioned them off with these pallets, and now everybody's together and happy. So here we are. So the pallets came up to about here, and they had uprights and horizontals. I took them out. I started the base of this with a lot of that wood, and then a lot of the other stuff I filled the holes and the gaps on the pallets themselves, and then I started layering. And if you can imagine how much goes into that. So I would do 1/3 organic topsoil that had some aged manure in it, 1/3 just like filler dirt sand that I had a scoop of, and 1/3 of 2 years old pine and various local trees bark mulch. So it was half decomposing already, as you can see, coming in nice. It's got some pine needles in there, a whole bunch of stuff. And I just layered that on top of tree branches and the extra pieces of wood. And then I did cardboard, and then I did leaves and pine cones and brush and all sorts of compostables. And then I did another layer of cardboard, and then I started doing... Hey, Carl. Then I started doing those 3 layers of the sediment and mixing them all together, raking it out until I set a height gauge right here. Boom, boom. So I think with having it braced against the chicken coop, I could then this winter, I have these metal posts from a trampoline. I could brace them from these pallets to the chicken coop and make a little greenhouse, hoop house, whatever you want to call it. So I have a whole bunch of these. Boom, boom. So we will do it like that, going across, plastic over, and we'll probably greenhouse it this winter. And this tree farm, this raised tree bed, it's part of the tree farm where I have 500 white spruce going already. You see them all in there. The sun is crazy right now. So you see all those little sticks? Those are actually 3 years old white spruce, about 500 of them. So yes, in here, there's going to be forsythia, there's going to be Fraser fir, and there's going to be Rose of Sharon. A whole bunch of cuttings. They're rooting right now in my basement on some seed warming mats. And like in the middle to end of May, when I plant my veggie and fruit garden in there, I will bring them outside, the rooted cuttings, and pop them in here. And I'll probably top it off with some sorghum or some sweet peat moss. And yeah, so I know it's ugly as sin, but in the Marine Corps way, get it up and operational as fast as possible, and then improve from there. So it is operational as of right now. I would do 3 buckets of each sediment. 3 runs, so I would have 1 bucket in each hand of each sediment 3 times, so basically 9 buckets a day, and I just did it until it was full. This way I didn't get burnt out on it. I never wanted to do it again by doing it all in 1 or 2 days, and so yeah, it got full, and I still have some time. I have until May, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So let's get up to Zone 4 on the bonsai deck. All right, so before we get started, I got a couple of things in the mail today. One has nothing to do with bonsai, but when I am in my winter mode and I have nothing bonsai to do, I geek out with some coin collections. and just, you know, regular coins that you get for change at the store. And I fill books with it and yada, 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 whatever. It's not a big deal. But I did get a digital scale for it because in 1982 with the American penny, they switched from a copper penny to a zinc penny. So the copper penny is 3.1 ounces and the zinc penny is 2.5 ounces or grams. It's one of those, 3.1 and 2.5. So I'll look that up before I check it out. This way I'll know which coins are 1982s made out of zinc and which ones are 1982s made out of copper, because in the year that they transitioned, they made them both. So that might not be interesting to you, but it is to me. And the second thing, I got some Jack's Classic All-Purpose Water-Soluble Plant Food and Micronutrients. So it's a 2020, and it kind of reminds me of the old school Miracle Grow. It's a blue powder, but I will dilute the hell out of it and just give the plants a little bit, like maybe every 3 weeks, the ones outside, especially going into the grow season. So I just want to see them all just grow epically. So anyways, let's get to those Trident Maples and a couple of Japanese Maples. That's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so walking out my back door here. Got the evergreens to the right. We did zone 3 yesterday. Really, I should be doing these, but it is what it is. So it's going to be difficult to get this shot because you see this window juts out. But right here, I have single Trident Maples in matching pots. Then in the middle, a very dominant single Trident Maple. And then on the ends here and over there, I have 2 very tall, maybe 4-year-old Japanese maples, and I believe they were grafted onto another type of tree about here. So their canopies are growing. I really haven't done much with them. And then across the middle, there are 3 Trident Maple plantings of 3 Trident Maples. So let's see if we could go one at a time here. I apologize for the sun or lack of visibility. There we go. All right, so we've got this Japanese maple. You see, very slow growing as they go after 4 years. Not much pruning on my part. And let's see, right here, you could see where it was grafted onto this trunk here. So not much movement, but I think it could be very attractive at this height. If I just let it grow into a very wide and nice canopy, keep it that height max, that'll be fun. So just below, we have a Trident Maple. I got 25 of these bare rooted when they were 1 year old a few years ago. And they're all in different stages because I really experimented. So this one hasn't budded out yet. It does have buds. And I did give it a quick prune when I did the landscape. Just had a few branches that were just leggy and nasty, so I did that. And then next to it couldn't be more different. Same pot, different ground, some bigger river pebbles, multicolored. Very small trunk because I made the mistake of trying to grow them as bonsai in small pots right away rather than either do them in a raised tree bed like I have down there or in larger pots. But you see this one has a lot more energy and taller growth. Some nice trident leaves coming in. Just love that trident. And the way it laid out, I have 5 and 5, so I had to stagger them behind each other because I couldn't stagger evenly. You know what I'm saying? So right behind it, I have a Trident Maple planting of 3. Some nice stones, a little moss on this rock here. That was cool. Some sand. You see they're all starting to bud out. It's a really fun time of year. They're all budding out in different colors and at different speeds. So that's the first planting of 3. Here we go with the second planting of 3. Maybe I'll start up top on this one. So even look how much smaller these leaves are. Size of the point of my finger to right here. All right, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, here we go. That's a lot bigger. And then we have some that are a nice red, orange into yellowish green. And then we have others that are just straight green. And these all came together. So really fun. So this landscape, I left some surface roots. I thought those were fun. See, I left them high on this one. Right now they look like but that might be cool. Carrying on. This one is growing very strongly. Nice thick trunk. A little windswept to the side, probably because it was grown too close to its brothers and sisters, but that's fine as it develops. It's actually turning into a fun feature. And you see I left a couple of surface roots there too. And this one is very similar to the one down there. It hasn't budded out yet. I did not repot it this year. I did give it a little haircut. And I'm pretty sure it will bud out. Some of these are just a little slower than others. See, there's some buds. So it'll be all right. And then the last planting of 3. It's like a little bridge going across, do a little picnic over there. I really like these 3 stones together. Same kind of deal, young trunks. This one hasn't budded yet, but it has a lot of nice healthy buds on it. And then these have, and they're just so attractive when they're smaller. I think probably a very mature Trident Maple budding out would be one of the most beautiful bonsai trees I can imagine. And this one I was just trying something different. Did a little rim of river stones, all flat ones. This one's definitely going to be healthy. Hasn't budded out yet, but definitely going to be. And here is the final of the Japanese maples. So this is a Acer palmatum dissectum, the Crimson Queen. So that's what the other one over there was as well. They're matching pots. Let's see if we get that back in there. No, I'll have to work that with 2 hands. But so a similar young canopy. If you are growing any Acers, just expect that they are very slow. Don't try to rush them. It's kind of like growing your evergreens. They're just going to take a while. So, a couple more areas to go this week. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. It's only Tuesday, I know, but spring is here. It's very exciting, and Liverpool's on tomorrow, so I may or may not get another video out. It doesn't really matter, right? We got nothing but time, just like the bonsais. So anyways, I'm Jared Paul from the ranch. I hope you all have a great day, great week, and from my family to yours, cheers.